moderation is key.
Is it really the key to a good life?
I think it's been the key to our success in life.
Definitely.
Well, to us living a happy and what we would consider a good life.
A good life, absolutely.
I don't know about you, but listen in.
Listen in to this week's podcast.
Episode of Get Real
With the English Sisters.
Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts.
So, what was it our mum used to say? We know that saying only too well.
She used to say, ni tanto ni tan calvo.
Yeah, she was Spanish.
So she taught us moderation, didn't she?
She did definitely teach us moderation, because she would say that so often.
Every time.
That it's like in our subconscious minds, isn't it? It's like ni tanto, which means neither too much
or too
little. So yeah, it's like the moderation is the key. The middle ground. Yeah. And so if we were going to say, "Oh, Mom, I hate this. I never want to study that subject again," she would always say, "Ni tanto ni tan calvo." Try think about it a moment. Maybe this was one day was a bad day. You know, she would say that to me a lot.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about the expression that we looked up, and it said neither with 2 weeks or without any.
because calvo is a Spanish word and it actually means bald. So for those of you who don't speak Spanish, it means that if it literally there's another expression which says ni calvo ni con dos pelucas, which is hilarious. It means neither bald or with 2 wigs. So it's always the exaggeration, because if you're bald and you want to have 1 wig, that's okay. But you're not going to wear 2 wigs on your head, because you're going to look odd. And it was just funny. Yeah, it made us laugh there. We were back there in the kitchen having a cup of tea. Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
So really, it's about moderation. And I really do think that it's one of the keys to the...
well, I'm always spitting out the phase.
I know. Because
I told it to my daughter the other day.
Really? Yeah.
She was on about some podcast she listened to about dieting and exercise doesn't work and all this.
Yeah, I know.
And so I thought, no, exercise does work.
And
calorie counting works, and everything works in moderation.
Yeah, let's not be extremist about this. Yes, let's not go too, it's like, oh my God, like one person can have so much candy and so much chocolate and think nothing of it, and another person has 1 spoon of sugar and freak out. Oh my gosh, that's a classical case when you'd say, hey, ni tanto ni tan calvo, come on. Chill, let's find a medium here. You don't have to eat 3 Mars bars, but you don't have to freak out if you've had a little tiny bit of sugar today.
Well, if you eat 1 Mars bar.
Oh, 1 Mars bar, yeah. And it's not something you're going to be doing every day.
They're not as nice anymore.
No, I don't like them much now. I don't know if we've
changed.
The
quality of the chocolate's gone down, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not sponsoring this in any case.
Nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us, yeah. But apparently, that's the case. Anyway, I mean, again, if you do have a candy bar and you have a chocolate bar, okay, let's not make such a big deal about it.
No, as long as you're not having one every day.
Yeah, it happened. Okay,
yeah,
so
it
what?
Happened to me once. Yeah, I started eating 1 a day.
I know, I remember. Yeah, and then you were saying, hey, I'm not fitting into my skirts anymore. What am I doing? And I was thinking, it's not because you're buying the chocolate bar every time you get on the train, is it? Do you remember? We were so naive. We were so young. And then you said, what chocolate? I got that chocolate bar you're buying every morning. And then you take it with you. And yes, definitely. It shows you weren't even thinking.
Buying the chocolate bar,
and then you got back to a normal weight
instead of being. Yeah, exactly, straight away.
Yeah, straight away. So that was
trouble.
That was pretty easy. Yeah. So that was. I don't know. Yeah, you've taken me down this funny little tangent now, but yeah, definitely, it was funny. Yeah. Moderation. I do think we have lived in moderation most of our lives. Whereas it comes to food, drinking.
I'm thinking about fitness, because I was talking to my daughter the other day, and I'm on this program now that she's put me on.
It's pretty tough.
Inspiring,
But
yeah.
she is motivational.
I remember like when we first used to go to the gym, when we would go every day, but we would just do about an hour there. Yeah. I mean, they used to laugh at us, the other people, because they would be real fanatics.
Yeah.
What we would consider would be more extreme in those days. But we always used to do it in moderation.
Very much.
We
did get better.
I wondered if it was that. I wonder if that kind of moderation was a bit too little moderation, because I never really felt as if I pushed myself enough. I would always like stop when I'd start getting a bit sweaty and things.
And then we go and have a cappuccino, because they had this nice bar at the gym. And then, do you remember what happened when they closed the bar at the gym? We said, we're not coming here anymore. And then we thought, oh dear. Is this really what we should be saying then? Why are we coming? Is it for the coffee and the chats? Or is it really it was for the coffee and the chats, because that's where we developed our first book as well, once again.
No, but it was for the fitness as well, because when my kids take the mickey out of me saying I didn't do anything, I did, because we still went on the treadmill for 20 minutes. That's when the moderation, and we used to go to the Pilates whole hour class.
You couldn't get out of that. You had to do it. She would wash us like a hawk.
Some of the other classes were a bit cheeky, and we used to sneak out after half time.
Yeah, if you go at the back. Yeah, you could get out. But not with the Pilates. We were forced to do that. So let's not say that was. No,
but anyway, I'm thinking, because like now I'm on this program when I'm trying to do. Well, not trying. I am doing.
You are doing
like a weight training program, and it's 4 days a week, and then the rest of the days of the week I've got this thing now that counts as steps to be a bit more active. So I'm doing walking. Now, someone else might say that was extreme and you're getting obsessed because you're walking every day and you're doing all this, weight training every day. But for me, in this case, I don't think that is obsessive, because I think now, looking at the balanced way of life, considering how sedentary we are most of the day, we sit down most of the day, we're not doing active things all day. Maybe if you had an active job, you're working in the forest or something, or
definitely
on a farm, or doing something, obviously you wouldn't need to do that, and it would be excessive, you'd be exhausted.
No, you can't. No,
but with our lifestyles now, we need to do something like that to keep strong and fit, whereas someone else might look at you and say, oh, are you getting a bit obsessed? Why are you doing all this? This is too much.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
But for me, that's been moderate, because obviously when I'm doing it, I'm careful I don't put too much
So what you're saying is moderation is subjective.
Yeah.
Yes. So, it's not objective. It's subjective to the person. So it depends on what stage of life you're going through.
You have to be your own moderator.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I think you have to put like a safety things in there, because you can get carried away. Some people can, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, we get carried away the other way of not doing enough.
Of not wanting to do enough.
Yeah. But some people get, more obsessive about it and want to push themselves more and more, and then that's where it can lead to problems, injuries.
Well, you don't want to be obsessive about anything, really.
No.
Yeah, I mean, the word obsessive already describes that there may be something that's not quite right there.
Yeah.
You want to go towards your
goal.
Your goal, and say, okay, I'm going to train now because I want to train, because it makes me feel good, and you remember how good you feel afterwards. So that motivates you to start, because at the beginning I don't think you're really that crazy about starting, but you remember how good you feel. Yeah. That's what gets you going, isn't it?
Well, it's the dopamine you get.
The dopamine, yeah. So that's what happens to me as well. Before going on the treadmill, I might think, try and make my little excuses in my head of why I don't want to start. But then when I'm on it, and I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy, and I just do walking. So I'm not into all your weight training at the moment.
No. But also because for health reasons, I've told you not to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, it's moderation again. Yeah,
it's
I listen.
Moderation, you listen.
It's
listen to what your healthcare or your doctor tells you. So it's not like I also, after my eye operation, I was very careful. I waited for
the right time.
A retinal detachment. I was waiting for 2. I was waiting for, it's okay to go ahead. But obviously I think that whatever stage you are in your life, you have to take into consideration what people are telling you. That's where you have to be a moderator as well. You have to listen, what's going on, what are people telling me? Like they told us we were obsessed. I remember when I went to England, that's a bit obsessive. Oh my God, are you getting obsessed about doing gym every day now? What's going on, Violetta?
Really?
And I said, no, I just enjoy it, and it
helps me feel
it helps me
better.
feel better, and it helps me keep in shape and keep
Flexible,
healthy and
yeah.
flexible. Yeah, get rid of my backache, because I had backache at the time.
You haven't got any of that anymore, have you?
Nothing.
No. You really
It's
have
all
become
gone.
stronger and stronger.
Stronger and stronger day by day.
Day by day with this training. Yeah, it's been brilliant.
And
for
so it's a question, yeah, because also when you're doing like weight training, you have to eat properly. You have to eat more protein.
That's
so
true.
you get more savvy, more veggies, more protein, healthier, less sugars, because you think, well, I still eat sugar, but what's it going to give me?
You're going to eat it
because it's
again,
moderation.
moderation.
Yes,
come
you don't
on.
want to deprive yourself of a cake or whatever if you feel like it, or a couple of biscuits.
I do think that moderation has been the key to success for many, many years and years in this world. But like now, today, it's gone a little bit wonky, hasn't it? You know, there's a bit of extreme.
I think the social media takes you down that, like the podcast episode we did about, we did like just saying that it takes you out down these rabbit holes, because you'll look one thing up or it'll hear you. The other day it heard us talking about, I don't even want to mention it because it'll come up, and it immediately it feeds you all these things.
You mean the algorithm?
Yeah, the algorithm fed me all these things that I didn't want to see, and they were actually horrific. And I say I don't want to see these things. And it was just because we were talking about a client of us who had this problem, and it's scary, because you're thinking, if someone is in that, has got that eating disorder or whatever
it is,
they're going to be going down this thing which saying, oh no, it's a good thing for me, it's been amazing, blah 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 blah
you're
blah.
You're going to hear lots
and
of,
you're going to hear it, and you're going to think, you're almost going to get a little bit skewed and think, this has become normal, because this is what I'm seeing all the time. I'm just seeing this.
Yeah.
I'm just being fed this, so this is normal, it's healthy kind of
So
thing.
you mean if you're an obsessive person who just does too much exercise, you're going to go down that rabbit hole of just focusing on that all day long.
Yeah, and on the nutrition side of it, and then it becomes unhealthy.
It becomes a problem there, because you can't socialize normally. Your whole life revolves around the training, the eating. You can't go out with your friends because they might want to eat something that's not right for your training program. It can become, once again, that there's moderation again. It would be nice to be able to live in moderation, but really, I mean, today's world, I think, is all about the opposites, excessive. You know, you either watch one show, you don't normally do, like even watch TV shows now, they called it binge watching. I do it myself. I'll watch I want to watch an entire series. I mean, when we were little, do you remember what it was like? You had to wait a whole week. You know, was that moderation? Was that just frustration?
I think that was frustration.
But it also kept you away from it. You were less time on the screen, because then you go off and read a book or go and do something.
I don't know, read a book. That's
You would definitely read a book, and I remember reading a lot. We'd go to the library.
I love reading.
Yeah.
But not other people might not. They might watch what's next on the telly.
Just watch any old program.
Yeah, instead of being able to choose what you watch, you just get fed what they want you to watch.
Yes, that was horrific as well. Yeah, I mean, I do love it that you can choose. Yeah, that nowadays there are the. I thought that's horrific. It's so boring. Yeah. just being literally fed, you know, and just being hypnotized with whatever's on their agenda.
Yeah, whatever they had to offer, that you had to just watch again and again and again. Usually loads of time they put the same thing on again as well. Thinking boring.
Yeah, very boring.
Now there's more choice. You can do gaming, you can do television, you can read. If you use your moderation skills now, if you become your own moderator, you have a lot of choice to be able to choose something that's good for you at that moment.
Yeah, it's just like the content online moderators when they can, when they don't allow the scams and all the things that are going to come through, the trolls. You know, if you do the same with your own mind, I think that could be really brilliant. You know, you're your own mind's moderator.
So look to where you may be doing something excessive, so you might notice that you're drinking too much,
or something that's excessive,
too much,
or too little, because ni tanto ni tan calvo, you know, either too much or
drinking too little.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about.
I bet you're all laughing.
No, I'm not talking about drinking.
There was a point when I didn't used to drink anything, and I used to think I should drink a little bit.
Really?
Well, yeah, just to be a bit more sociable, because I didn't drink anything.
Well,
But I mean, you know, because
yeah. Because your
just
husband's
the
an
one
English
drink.
family,
Yeah, just the one drink.
Because
Keep me
here in
happy.
Italy, even though it's a land of the wine and the plenty, you know, it's really common for
But
people
I wonder
not
if you
to
say
drink.
here in Italy, if it just is this area, because I think in Milan they drink a lot more.
In the north, they
Yeah.
do. Yeah, they have the whole.
And there might be a bit more pressure around.
Well, I don't know. No, I don't know. I can't talk about that.
No.
Yeah, I know Rome and that, you know, the area we're in is really quite common for people.
No, but sometimes I used to think, okay, well, what if you? Because I used to like wine and beer. I thought, well, you could have the odd beer. Come on.
Yeah, don't be so
Yeah,
so
don't have to
radical.
be so extreme now.
excessive.
No, because I used to think, oh, it's got calories in it. What's the point? I might as well eat a piece of cake or something else instead.
Really?
That I prefer.
Yeah.
There's no point in putting extra calories on for something I'm not going to enjoy that much.
Right, yeah.
So I suppose I was moderating there. What do I prefer for this
You were
one?
choosing.
Yeah, choosing something I preferred a bit more.
Yeah, and then you had the peer pressure, obviously, yeah. Like maybe from...
Yeah, but I think you should be able to say no. There now. I mean, now.
Now it's different, I think.
It's not that different.
No,
they were
really,
saying, but
no.
now, of course, you can say no to anything. You don't have to be pressured into doing anything you don't want to do. You don't feel like you have to.
No, which is great, really,
Yeah.
yeah. But, yeah, no, do you know what you were pressured more into here in Italy? Like, if you said you didn't like gelato. I mean, really, no,
Well,
honestly.
it was a bit of a stigma for me because
Goodness,
I didn't like
you
it.
weren't
crazy.
Do you remember? I mean, even now today, if you
seems
said,
like a joke.
I don't want wine, I don't want, not bother with the candy or whatever, no thanks, that's fine. Oh, water, aqua, they love it. Here, give you any aqua you want, water. They're very happy. But then when it comes to the gelato, if you say, let's all go out for a gelato, and then you're saying, oh, no, I don't think, what? You're not eating it. It's like shock, horror, and sadness. And you have to say, no, wait, you haven't tried this one. We're going to the best one, the best gelato. I mean, there is pressure there.
I used to be fine with it because I was so against it. I didn't like it at all. It was too cold.
Yeah, you really, I mean, that's
But I do
odd.
remember it being a bit antisocial.
No, a bit. I mean, you weren't really. It was quite...
Because I didn't hang out with Italians that much.
No, yeah, because since my husband's Italian and he has all Italian friends, just as well, I love it.
With your husband, it was fine. But yeah, obviously, when I do remember when we would go together, he would say, "But tu non prendi gelato." And you're having
yeah.
an ice
Still
cream.
today, if I say
Yeah, I
Violetta
say no.
doesn't like
Yeah,
gelato,
he
he'd
goes
like
with a
things.
sad face does
My
come on.
God, what's wrong with that? That's very sad. Joe, why doesn't she like gelato?
And I don't know why I don't like it. I mean, I do like it. I'm not mad about it, so there's no point. But when I was little, I didn't like it because I remember I really struggled with it because it was freezing.
Yeah, do you remember the first time I actually had a taste of it when we went to
Real
Switzerland
one,
with
I did not like.
with our
It was
uncle
too
who
cold
bought
and
me
freezing cold.
I'll
and
never
yucky.
forget it. For me, it was like the first time I'd ever tasted, I think, real gelato. Yeah. We went to Switzerland. He gave me that lovely, that glass full of. I can still remember it.
I remember it as well because it was a big experience.
It was a big, we went to this
like 6 or 7.
restaurant or something, and he gave, oh my God, it was like, da-da.
Because he worked there.
I see, because
he worked at the bar.
Oh, so sweet. I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
He worked at the bar, so he took us there for
he took us there, and then he offered. Well, he paid for it.
But it wasn't just like a normal ice cream that
it was a proper one in the
glass cones,
with the cones and 5 or 6 balls of ice cream and some fresh cream
and a cherry or something.
It's all posh.
And I thought, my God, this looks beautiful. And when I tasted it, I thought, this tastes beautiful.
This is so cold.
Yeah, it's like a kinesthetic thing for you, isn't it? It has to be soft and warm.
Yeah. The fake ice cream, I was going to say. The Whippy's ice cream, the one that used to come round in the van. That was nicer
like that,
because it was softer and it wasn't as cold.
Yes. And,
I used to like that.
Yeah, that used to be delicious.
I wasn't as mad about it as you, but I did used to
like
I like the chocolate bit in it more.
No, I would dream about that.
Yeah. No,
I can still remember it now, and the smell of that ice cream van. Yeah. God. I can remember it. I can remember it really well. The noise. the music, the Sunday afternoons, just kind of like thinking, oh, the ice cream man's going to come now. Ding, 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 the little music. God.
We never had any money for it.
We were
though,
poor. We didn't really have enough money for that, to buy these luxuries. But once a miracle happened. I mean, it was hilarious. I mean,
sometimes Mum would say, but do you know the problem with us is that we were shy, so we wouldn't go begging our mum for
it's
it.
'cause
And we used to kind of know
begging.
she was poor.
we
That
knew,
we
the
came-
family
yeah,
came from suffering.
We knew there wasn't that much money to go round.
No.
We're not just poor, really, because Mum used to spend a lot of money on fruit and
Real food.
and
Yeah.
cheese and
Yeah.
meat.
We always
it
had
wasn't
enough.
No. It
No.
wasn't really that she was poor. It's just that she didn't consider that those kind of things she would consider more like something that was a bit unhealthy, I think, and wasn't that much of a luxury.
Yeah, it was
Because
not
sometimes she would
necessary.
buy us cakes and things
She
when
would-
we would go out. But I remember at that age she would be more likely to want to make us a cake.
Exactly. She'll
than
make
buy,
the apple pie
Yeah.
instead of letting the ice cream van come along and just give us a pound
It
or
was
whatever
probably
it
more
was.
expensive as well than
Of course, it
making
was more expensive. I think it was £1 for one ice cream.
Not when we were tiny. It was like 10p or something.
It was 10p.
Anyway, that one time.
Oh my God. We call it the money tree now because we heard the ice cream van, we went running out. I don't know.
Running up the street
We would
saying,
always
"Ice
go,
cream."
we would always go running up the street. Just to watch the other kids get the ice cream. And it's quite sad really, but we used to think nothing of it. I think just enjoy the smell. I don't know. That's what we would do. We would run up and then watch.
They would give it to us now. I think people are kinder.
I don't know. It was those times, wasn't it?
It's
like the
I think
70s.
if you saw two little kids come up now without any money and just staring like with eyes.
The ice cream man, he was used to it, so he just ignored you.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, I wonder if the ice cream man or lady would do that now. They'd be a bit kinder.
I don't know. It's a business, isn't it? I
Yeah.
suppose they see so many little children staring up at them. I mean, what can you do?
Do they still see as many now?
Well, I don't even know if they exist now.
They
these
do
days.
exist.
Oh,
They're
they
not-
do. Oh, well, I don't know.
But they tend to go more towards the
cities.
Do you see them around shopping centres and things? I don't know if they still go around the little streets, but I think sometimes they do.
Anyway, we went running up. All the other kids got their ice cream. It was just about time for the man to start getting in. I remember he was just getting
"All
away.
right,
He
then."
said, all right, getting away from there. And he was going to go back in the driver's seat. When all this money falls from this big, I think, was it an oak tree? I don't know what tree it was. From above our heads, money falls on the ground like pennies. I mean, I just remember staring, screaming, we're rich, and we started picking up. This makes me feel like crying now. Picking up these pennies, and then the ice cream man, he just.
But then, do you know that we didn't even go and buy the ice cream? We ran to Mum to ask if it was okay if we bought one.
And I remember telling Mum we're rich, with all this money that we had. And then, yes, can we get an ice cream with it? And then we ran back up and he was still waiting for us, which
was cute.
must have been terribly sweet. And then for many years, we had no idea what happened to them, where that money had come from, the so-called money tree, because other times we would wait under the money tree. They say money doesn't fall from trees. Well, it did when we were little.
It doesn't now.
It doesn't now. But we waited under the money tree for many times after that, thinking.
And it didn't come.
And then when we were a little bit older, I remember telling Mum, and she said, darlings, it must have been the lady who lived upstairs from that house.
One that had the Siamese cats.
Yeah, she must have thrown her pennies out of the window. She must have seen you a day in, day out, waiting for this ice cream van, and she threw it, which is terribly sweet. But yeah, thank you, lady with the Siamese cats, if you're still around.
Yeah.
We still remember that today, and you did make our childhood a bit of a fairy tale because we used to read all the fairy tales. So.
And it would happen in the fairy tales.
I would yeah, there were
Maybe
many
it wasn't
trees.
a fairy tale. Maybe it came because other people used to do the same thing.
I don't know. But in the fairy tales, you would read
But
these.
then there, I think in moderation as well. If Mum had been a bit more savvy, like she'd been a bit maybe more aware of us and said, "Hey, do you want an ice cream every now and again?"
Yeah. She was rather extreme in that sense.
Or she could have said, "You've got a little bit of pocket money. Do you want to save it up for an ice cream?" But she kind of made us think that going to buy ice creams and that was kind of a waste of money, because I always remember thinking we had to save our pocket money. Whereas my hubby said he would get his pocket money and run down to the sweet shop and buy loads of sweets with it.
No, that was not looked well upon. That was condemned.
So I think she used to say "Ni tanto ni kankabo," but in some ways
some
she
areas
was extreme.
Yeah, it could have benefited from her. Yeah, obviously those are the mistakes that I thought mistakes. I mean, she was a darling, but yes, that I tried not to do as a parent, and so did you. Be more aware that the kids are kids. You know that you got to save. Yes, it's great to teach children how to save, but also to teach them that it's enjoyable to make the most of your money, and you've saved all week, now off you go.
Yeah, it seems bad saying that now, because another time she would encourage us like to spend our pocket money on things that we like. When we would go, I remember once we went to Venice, she encouraged us to buy a little purse with it. It's not as if she was saying never spend it and you have to save it all the time.
A little purse for the way. It's funny that you said it.
Thought of that.
That's hilarious. A little purse. We're recalling all our childhood now and remembering it. Yeah, that's funny.
But then we wanted to buy the purse. She didn't tell us to buy it.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Anyway, the thing is that she was very generous, and she would always give us lots of money, especially when we were older and that. I just think she wasn't that aware, because she used to think it was so bad, like sweets and that was so bad.
She used to think in England the kids used to eat far too much candy. It wasn't in her culture being Spanish. Exactly. So it's also a culture thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Spanish kids hardly ever ate. They didn't eat candy.
No, it's true.
Full stop. They would eat churros, which was those fried donuts.
Oh, like what she used to say. She used to make sweets, she said.
Yeah.
But they were still boiled sugar.
Yeah.
But very rarely.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, once a year. Come on.
All the time, no.
Eat sweets maybe at Christmas or something.
She would always make us lots of cakes and things like that. The house was always full of cakes. Every day we'd come back, there'd be a cake that was baked.
Oh yeah, and
chocolate. She used to like us to eat chocolate.
Yeah.
Like chocolate squares, lots of chocolate,
bread and chocolate.
That would be considered like a healthy snack.
She wasn't wrong though. Then again, because it was simple
give
bread.
You energy, but I mean, what I mean is, now if you're listening, don't think she was really hard on us or anything. It's just what she considered. I mean, she just thought maybe
she just thought it wasn't important.
She didn't care about it.
I don't think she even liked it. She didn't
like ice cream much. To tell you the truth.
That's why. Because if she liked cake, it's like
she probably would have gone to buy
because
it
like
herself.
me, for my kids, I love ice cream, so I would always, whenever pick them up from school, do you want to go to the bike, get a gelato? Sometimes they say no, and I go,
didn't like it much either.
Not interested.
When they were older, they liked it a bit more. When they came to Italy,
a little bit more. Yeah, then they would like it. Yeah. But
no, you're right.
Yeah, so it depends maybe on the preference, but you know, there again, if you're moderating yourself, you can think, well, maybe that's something that I don't like, but hey, you know,
others might.
So let's not be.
That's also nice. I think it's a nice thing to come to that conclusion. Because also with I was just thinking now, things that divide a lot, like political views.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't be so extreme. You know, go towards the middle. And unfortunately, like all the social media and the news and everything does tend to be very extreme.
It's either one or the other,
isn't it?
It's
very right wing or very left wing. You don't often get that middle ground, which in the end, it's the middle ground is what unites people.
Absolutely.
So I
mean,
think,
marketers know that all too well. It's a Goldilocks thing, isn't it?
When she effect.
Yeah, when she tries all the different porridges and all the different chairs, and then you find one that's just right. that's usually the middle ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about Goldilocks. It was a small one, I think, because she was a little thing.
But in marketing,
Market-
they place a product very expensive, and then one at the lower end of the scale, and then one in the middle.
and
so you have the middle range, and that's the one that gets the most
purchased. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But it's nice for the consumer likes to have the idea that there's
a top
yes,
and
there's
a
top
and a
bottom.
cheaper one, and then oh no, I'll just go for that.
Just for the
Yeah,
middle.
I probably do that myself actually without realizing. I think we probably all do it.
Yeah, we all do it.
Because you think, oh, the one in the middle is neither too excessive nor too.
Unless you save up for something really special.
Yeah.
But normally it is the middle.
It is the middle one, so
For us anyway. But we are moderators.
exactly, yes. No. Ah, dear me, yeah, we are indeed.
Some people
We
would
did
say
grow
we're
up
not-
with that.
Our friend would tell us that when we would say we were moderators,
Same.
because we would have a piece of. Here they used to, when we first came to Italy, they had this delicious pizza taglio that you could cut into squares, and you'd just go to a little shop and you'd go in and they'd cut. They have fresh pizza like at 11 o'clock. We'd have
Delicious.
the lemonsies. We'd get a piece of pizza, just scoff it down, and then have lunch later.
Of course.
And our friend.
Yeah.
She'd say, "Where'd you put it all?" Because she couldn't conceive that. She says, "Far too many. You're eating far too much."
Yeah.
But then she always struggled more with her weight than
Because
we
she
did.
was more excessive afterwards.
Yeah.
So maybe there was that one piece of pizza and
Yeah.
the lunch or whatever it was. But then it wasn't like what
But the portions for the lunch were smaller. The
but-
piece of pizza was one. It wasn't 3 pieces.
it's about, okay, yeah, you're not going to be like maybe super in shape if you eat that way, but you were just normal, you know, a medium, just happy for what you to be in your skin, as to say. Yeah, so it wasn't like unhappy about it. We were just normally happy about it.
Yeah,
Thank
and
goodness.
she was normally quite unhappy about
Very
it.
unhappy, yeah.
Because she might not eat that piece of pizza, but then she'd get so hungry that she might eat a massive portion of something else. at
Something
night.
else, or binge on something usually, because I used to know her very well. That is the case. So that's, once again, even like what you say, even things like eating, like food, moderation, but not only food, ideas, relationships as well, really. Because if you're
Bit too
like
extreme.
a bit too extreme in your relationships, it means you can also expect too much as well, like of your loved one, and that's not really good, is it? Because then you're going to be always
Going towards to be feeling more in lack than in
yeah,
abundance.
you're going to be kind of disappointed, think, they're not, why didn't they understand me, or why didn't they, just come on. You've got to really be a bit, moderate and think, well, maybe they didn't understand me because they're not me. And because they have a different brain, different upbringing, different stuff happened to them. Even if we live in the same home and we sleep in the same bed, for example, it doesn't mean we are one. So, that's also a bit extreme, I think,
Yeah.
when you think your couple has to be...
You.
Yes, that's extreme. Come on. That's not... Friends as well. Friends are different to you. They're going to have different opinions. It doesn't matter if they have a different opinion.
But that's what enriches you as well, isn't it?
Exactly.
What do you think? Are you going to be your own moderator? Are you already your own moderator? Or do you find that you tend to go to one extreme or the other? Well, as we say, ni tanto ni tan calvo.
Calvo. There you go.
See if you can learn that.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From the
English
Sisters. And please, if you find this podcast useful and it relieves your anxiety, do come and follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And come and say hi on Instagram at Get Real with the English Sisters. Or also our English Sisters account. Bye-bye.
Bye.